Shalom, my sisters. Welcome back to Call for Wisdom. My name is Deborah. And today I want to gather you all sisters together for a short Bible study. Grab your Torah, the Bible, and we're going to follow it as we talk about biblical marriage. And I want to ask you sisters, especially you single sisters, whose report will you believe when it comes to marriage? Biblical marriage, okay? Whose report are you going to believe? Are you going to believe what the world is telling you? Or are you going to believe your fears? Or are you going to believe what the word tells you about it and what the sisters in the sisterhood tell you? Because, this last week past, I don't know when you're listening to this recording, I had a great panel. There was a great panel that I was involved with where women in polygynous marriages, a couple sisters were giving their life experiences, talking about it, encouraging other women in it because they were saying their experience about it. And it was positive. But there's other women all over and internet and stories of terrible relationships in biblical marriage, polygynous marriages, where a man can have an option of having more than one wife. Now, of course, he can have one too, which is monogamy, but biblical marriage means that he has the option to add more. Welcome to Call for Wisdom. This is what we talk about. This is what I talk about. My channel is all for the daughters of Zion, those who are dipping their toes into Torah observance or they already are Torah observant, and you're getting to the awareness that the Torah, the Bible, does not forbid in all of Yah's laws anywhere in Scripture. It doesn't forbid a man from taking on more than one wife. It is a legitimate form of marriage and an option that he is allowed to have more than one flesh unions. Mhm. He can have one wife joined to him, and he can have another wife joined to him, like his left arm joined to him and his right arm joined to him. He can have a foot and a leg. We're all members of his body because he's the head. So that's biblical marriage in a nutshell there. But I want to ask you, let's sit down. Are you scared of it? Are you scared of biblical marriage? There's giants in the land. And let's call the giants right now the promised land marriage. You want to get there, you want to get married, or you want to keep your marriage. That's your promised land. That's what you're envisioning. That's what you're hoping for. But there are giants in the land stopping you from entering into that land. So because of some of you are standing on the edge of the promised land, like right at the edge, you're like, I want to get married. I'm 30, I'm 35. I'm desperate in the sense that I know that Yah wants me covered by a Yah-fearing man. I want to bear children. You're saying that to yourself. I'm looking in the world. I've tried the dating scene. I've gotten my body count way higher than I want it to be. I'm embarrassed to say that I have done that. You're saying that. I'm not saying I did, but you're saying that. And you're saying that you want to, despite all this, because Yah has delivered you, my sisters, from Egypt. If you're hearing these analogies from me, I'm talking about what happened in Numbers, right? Numbers chapter 12 and 13, and the whole trip about the the Israelites, the Yah's people, leaving Egypt. Remember that when Pharaoh had to set them free, and like you sisters here, you've been set free from the world, set free from bondage of to sin, and got into the revelation of Torah, of obeying Yah, of loving Yah, and submitting to our Messiah, Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus. And you've come to the knowledge that you need Him, and you've come to the place of repentance, and you've been gathered out into the wilderness to meet the Most High and understand His laws. And He's been teaching you His laws, His Torah. You've been reading the Bible from Genesis to Revelations all through, and you see that you need to obey Yah's laws. And when you get there, you feel kind of victorious that you're there. But Yah has more in store for you called the Promised Land. And in my analogy of the story, the Promised Land for you sisters today, I'm just talking to you, represents marriage, represents a good, happy marriage with a loving husband who's Yah-fearing, with a man that you look up to and can naturally respect, with the potential of having Yah-fearing seed, like good children that you can raise to fear Yah, to fear God, and be a blessing to the society, daughters that you can give in marriage to other men to expand the society, to expand the kingdom of Yah. The blessing of having companionship and not being alone. Awesome sex. I know you like it, you know? because y'all made it to be good. He blessed Adam and Eve. He blessed us. All this are good things. And he promised us a lot of good things if we obey his word, if we obey his Torah, if we follow him and do things y'all's way. He has promised us blessings and he wants to bring us into the promised land. But if we read the story about how it went with Israel, Yah came to the point where he wanted to bring them to the promised land. And in order to do that first, Moses commanded spies to go check out the land of Canaan. Hmm? Just go check it out. Remember, he sent 10 spies, and that's in Numbers chapter 13. Go ahead and read it. I'll read a little bit of it, right? Yeah. Moses was sending out spies, and the spies went ahead of time and they went to scout out what was in the promised land. And in that story in the Bible about them first going to check it out before the whole congregation went there, they saw various things. They saw two sides of the coin. There was good and there was bad. There was some good stuff and there was some bad stuff. There was some giants in the land, real giants, Nephilim kind of giants that would squash a man and they felt like grasshoppers. We'll read that scripture very soon. They felt really, really small because those giants were huge, man. But they also saw good stuff like milk and honey and fruit that was huge and massive, giant fruit too, like food in abundance and wealth in abundance and potential for prosperity. But they also saw fortified cities like guards up and and people that they had to go fight to get the land. It wasn't going to be easy. And I'm saying that biblically, marriage, entering into that as a sister, you are spying and other sisters are spying for you. And they're coming back with conflicting reports. And my question is, are you scared of the giants? And whose report are you going to believe about entering into that promise called biblical marriage? Be it with one wife involved or just you, doesn't matter. Biblical marriage gives a man an option. But are you afraid of getting married? Are you afraid of embarrassing it? Are you scared? Are you hesitant? You know about it, you are aware of it, but you're like, oh, and I'm quite sure why. Girl, polygyny is full of drama. I know. This is what the world is going to tell you. There's giants, right? And they want you to shrink back from it. It's like, oh my goodness, if you embrace the biblical marriage with a patriarchal man, even patriarchy is a giant in their heads. And they're telling you these men are going to abuse you, sisters. They're going to knock you down because they're so commanding and controlling. I mean, you can't just dress the way you want. You have to dress decent and modest. And he might be a kind of husband that won't even let you wear a skimpy dress and short skirts. Maybe he'll tell you that you can't go out like that with the girls on Friday nights or girls' night in Las Vegas. You can't do that no more because these patriarchal men were going to put you under their foot. Giants, rumors of giants, of being controlled and manipulated, treated like a piece of property, which indeed you are actually. That's the funny thing about it. Yeah. You belong to the man. If you do that, you will join his household to become part of his sheep that he has to steward. You are his responsibility and he controls you because you cannot be responsible for what he can't control. And you are one of him. You're part of him. Just like he has to control the arm, he has to control you to manipulate you and use you in good ways for the mission for his household. So, yeah, you're surrendering yourself to submitting to a man. Oh my gosh, the giant of loss of independence, right? The giant that says you're going to lose your independence if you become hooked up with a patriarchal man who believes in biblical marriage, right? These are the giants that are trampling around the promised land of happiness and fertility and growth spiritually and maturity and sisterhood and family and tribes and hanging out with your fellow believers and fellowship in a community and having lots of healthy babies with lots of help and support, you know, and growing financially as you all pull together. The promised land of biblical marriage is beautiful, but they are for real some giants. You're going to they're going to scare you. Some spies are coming back. These women are going to come back and they're going to try to scare you away, especially from biblical polygamy. They're gonna scare you, trying to scare you away from sharing your husband. They're gonna say you're gonna be jealous, girl. That giant of jealousy, once you cross over that Jordan and you get there, that giant of jealousy is gonna eat you up. Girl, that jealousy is gonna make you rip the house apart. The giant of you're gonna lose out, like you're gonna have less money. Now he's gonna spend some of his money on another woman to court the woman and to share. Girl, you're gonna lose out financially. Don't you know that the women in Africa, they're gonna tell you that our polygynous are all poor, which is not true. If for war zones and stuff like that, there's different reasons, not because of polygyny. Matter of fact, the polygynous houses are the ones that survive harsh times. But they're going to lie to you and say there's a giant call. You're going to financially lose out. You're going to be deprived of some money that was owed you. Your children are going to have less inheritance because you got to spend it share it with other women's children. They're going to tell you to be scared of the potential of being the unloved, unfavored wife like Leah, which I wrote a nice community post about, by the way. Go ahead and check it out about Leah and how we have propagandized her story to be the saddest story about polygyny ever, which is not true. She ended up to be very happy, actually. But they're going to scare you with the giant of potentially you might end up to be the unloved wife, which is a real giant. I can testify about that a little bit later on in my story. It is a real giant. They're going to show you the giants, and the giants do exist, right? The giants of being judged as you are adulterous, especially if you're the second wife. You are living a harlot's life, and you're adulterous, and you're a home wrecker, and the shame of having the big A on your shoulder, the shame of men misunderstanding you and women judging you. Oh, can you live with that giant? This shame of, oh, you're not a good enough if you're the first wife. If you embrace biblical marriage and walk in that giant of, you're not good enough. Obviously, everybody's going to see this giant around like this woman is so not good enough. That's why her husband had to go to the younger version of her down the road because she's just not good enough. She couldn't satisfy him in bed. She couldn't keep him at home. Her cooking sucks and her children are wild. She doesn't have the curves anymore and she's getting older. The fear of you can't handle another woman in the house. Like, I know that there's a giant in me, this is their saying, that will not be able to tolerate another woman in the house because between my giants and her giants, we're going to trample the house down. The two of us will rip it to pieces. I don't know. Like, I'm too much of a burden. I'm just too much to handle that the poor man won't be able to handle me and her, and I won't be able to get along with the sister. So I see the potential giant of clashing with this woman all the time, right? And you are seeing it in the distance and you're hearing rumors of such things happening in polygyny, especially if you go online and you go to Netflix and these TV shows about other forms of marriage that are not biblical marriage, for such as the ones done in polygynous Mormon houses that are not biblical. They're according to their religion, and Muslim houses that are not biblical, that are according to their religion. So they have their own tweaks in their own ways. I'm talking about biblical marriage, right? That promised land, doing it Yah's way, according to the Torah, the Bible. Now, that's a different kind of marriage. And there's very few spies that are coming back with the accurate reports about that because there's very few spies out there actually that are there, period. A lot of it is speculation because very few people are actually practicing it biblically to give you a good report back, right? But Israel had a choice. Whose report will you believe is what Moses asked when the spies came back. Whose report will you believe? Numbers chapter 13. Moses asked that. Let's just read it a little bit, right? So Numbers chapter 13 verses 25. When they returned from the spying, oh, let's read this. Numbers chapter 13 verses 18 verse and 19, okay? It says, this is what the spies said about the land, the promised land. And just think of it like marriage, right? The spy says, see what the land is like. And Moses is saying whether the people who live in it are strong or weak, and whether they are few or many. Go check it out. How is the land in which they live? Is it good or bad? And how are the cities in which they live? Are they open camps or fortified fortifications? And how is the land? Is it fat or lean? Are there trees or not? Like, check it out. Like, go ahead and check it out. And this is what you sisters are doing. Your guys are saying, how does this polygynous marriage thing work? Like, are these women really happy? Like, are they really getting their needs met? Like, are they emotionally secure? Are they secretly miserable? Like, I want to see, are they fat? Like, do they have enough money and wealth for themselves, or are they struggling? Um, are they being manipulated? Are they treated like property? And how are their children? And you're checking it out from a distance like spies, right? How's the land? Verse 20. Is it fat? Is it lean? Are there trees? Are there not? Make an effort then to get some fruit from the land now that the times was time now the time was the time of the first ripe grapes. Like, go ahead, it's harvest. And Moses is saying, go ahead and taste the fruits of the land. Make sure that it's okay. And I'm telling you, the fruits of polygyny are actually pretty okay. If you read the Bible, blessings came through polygyny. Leah, who had the most children out of polygyny, 6 of the tribes of Israel were birthed out of her, and the fruits were blessed, and she called herself happy. The kingdom of Yah was built on polygyny. The blessings of polygyny, Yah could have chose monogamy, he chose polygamy. And the blessings that flew are in the Messiah himself, the tribe of Judah, the tribe of Levi. All the tribes of Israel came through polygyny. The women were blessed. Blessed means happy. But we like to hear there was reports of the spies saying there's potential giants, which is true. But whose report are you going to believe? So they went up and they spied on the land, verse 20 says, and the land from the wilderness to Zin as far as Rohab to Lamah. Okay, so we're going to move over to verse 25 of chapter 13. So Numbers chapter 13, verse 25 says, when they returned from spying out the land at the end of 40 days, they proceeded to come to Moses and Aaron, these are the spies, and to all the congregation of the sons of Israel in the wilderness of Paran. And they brought back word to them and to all the congregation and showed them the fruit of the land. So they gave them evidence that there are good stuff. They showed them evidence of the fruit of the land. And I'm telling you, there's testimonies of sisters showing you evidence and telling you of evidence and showing you their families. And they're showing you evidence that biblical marriage has beautiful fruits and beautiful potential. We are testifying about it all the time, especially on Call for Wisdom. Beautiful potential. Verse 21, thus they told him and said, we went into the land where you sent us, and it certainly does flow with milk and honey. This is the fruit. Like, look, evidence, milk and honey. Nevertheless, the people who live in the land are strong, and the cities are fortified and very large. Moreover, we saw the descendants of Anak there. Ooh, Amalek is living in the land, and Negev, and the Hittites, and the Jebusites, and the Amorites are living in the hill country, and the Canaanites are living by the sea and by the sides of Jordan. So they saw all these enemies also in the lands. Not only their blessings, but there's also potential enemies that they spied and they saw living in the land. And I'm telling you, sisters, in this analogy about the promised land being marriage, biblical marriage, there's a lot of blessings, but there's also potentially a lot of giants and enemies that you will have to face. Mhm. Okay, and verse 30, then Caleb quieted the people. He quieted them because they were kind of concerned about the last part, the giants and the enemies. Before Moses and says, we should be, and Caleb quieted the people before Moses and said, we should by all means go up and take possession of it, for we will surely overcome it. He was a courageous man, Caleb. He said, despite all that, my sisters, I'm telling you right now, should surely embrace biblical marriage, and you will surely overcome it when you follow Yah. Verse 31. But the men who had gone up with him said, there was 10 of them, we are not able to go up against the people, for they are too strong for us. So Out of the 10, 8 of them 8 of them saw negatively. They said that the giants are too strong. The people there are too strong. I can't do it. And this is what you're hearing all over TikTok, all over the internet. Biblical marriage, marriage in general. Oh my goodness, girl, it's a scam. That's what you hear. There's too much trouble serving a man, cooking for him, cleaning for him. It's servitude. You're worth more than that. Don't you know that you're an independent woman? You don't need no man. And having to wake up in the morning and to clean the house for him and to think about what he's a grown man. Let him do it himself. This is too much for you. This is too much. Being a servant is too much. These giants, oh gosh, you can't deal with it. Stay away from it. And these are what these spies are telling you. And then there's Caleb. There's Caleb saying, no, no, you can do it. You can do it. It's not too much for you. So they gave out, so 32, so Numbers 13, verse 32. So they gave out to the sons of Israel a bad report of the land which they had spied out, saying, the land, though through which we have gone in spying it out, is a land that devours its inhabitants, eats them up. And all the people whom we saw in it are men of great status and size. They're giants. And they're telling you, my sisters, the land that I have scattered out called biblical marriage and polygyny, it is just full of trouble. Like there's like everybody's a giant there. It is just you're just walking into a trap of trouble, girl. Do not go down there. Go down to prescriptive monogamy, marry one man, live like the rest of us. Eventually you're going to divorce him too because 80% of you divorce them and then hook up into another one. So you're not really monogamous. You're like you're whoring around. But go over there and pretend to be monogamous because the real biblical marriage and patriarchy and submitting, that one there is full of giants. That one there is full of boogeyman giants, big things and challenges that, girl, you can't do it. This is what the spies report is saying. They also, there also we saw the Nephilim, the sons of Anak are part of the Nephilim, and we became like grasshoppers in our own sight. And so we were in their sight. It's like the giants were so huge in that land. We were like little grasshoppers. Like we felt like nothing. Like I can't handle these giants. These problems. Oh gosh, I can't handle the giant of jealousy. I can't imagine myself sitting at home while he's with another woman, hooking it up, having fun and seeing him married and having kids. I can't handle that. Like that giant of envy and jealousy is so great. I don't know, man. I don't know. And you're scared of the reports because you heard of other women saying the same thing, that they were so jealous that the giants ate them up, stomped on their heads. Yeah. Oh, but I'm asking you, are you afraid of biblical marriage because of the giants? Are you afraid? Chapter 14, verse 1. Then all the congregation lifted up their voices and cried, and the people wept that night. They're crying over this thing because Yah had told them to go into the promised land. And they're kind of like, this is what I left Egypt for. This is what I left my 304 lifestyle for. This is what I left the hookup Tinder and all the dating apps for. This is what I left to go into this kind of marriage. Like, no way. Like, I was sold a bag of, and you guys are choosing to be prostitutes instead of getting into biblical marriage, or you're sitting in this wilderness. And this is another thing we're going to go to. Let's just skip to it because read the whole story. If you have never read Numbers chapter 14 and 13, go ahead and read it. So verse 2, all the sons of Israel grumbled against Moses because they were grumbling, saying, this is what you led me to, Moses and Aaron. And the whole congregation said to them, would that we had died in the land of Egypt. Or would that we had died in the wilderness. Like I would have preferred to die in bondage or in the wilderness than to get married in a polygynous house. I hear you. You guys are spies. Say, no, man. I'd rather be a 304 on OnlyFans than to get married with a man who has other wives. Because I see the potential of giants, and I've been hearing the spies. I've been getting the reports. I mean, I've been getting it on TV. I've been getting this negative reports, and I'd rather listen to that. instead of the two people that gave me good reports, like little old Deborah and call for wisdom, and the few little sisters over there saying good reports. You see the balance? It's like two good reports compared to eight negative ones. You guys are listening to the eight negative ones of the giants. Don't tell me I'm wrong, right? But you're on the edge. Verse 3, why is the Lord bringing us into this land? To fall by the sword? Like he just hates women. He just wants us to fall on our own sword. Yeah, our wives and our little ones will become plunder. Oh, would it not be better for us to return to Egypt? Like, I'd rather go back to my old lifestyle. I'd rather just be a 304. So they said to one another, let us appoint a leader and return to Egypt. Like they talk about rebellion. Like, forget about you, Moses and Aaron. You guys are fired. We're going back to appoint a leader and head back to bondage of Egypt. These people just crossed the Red Sea, crossed everything. Y'all defeated the Egyptians, slaughtered them, set them free, all that stuff. And they rather go right back because they saw from a distance, they heard the report of the negativity and they were willing to drop it all and head right back. And my sisters, if you are a single sister listening to me right now and call for wisdom, do not change panels. Don't change channels. Listen to me. Don't go back to Egypt. Yah has delivered you. Do not return back to the filth, to the vomit of the past life. If Yah has set you free from promiscuity and fornication, has washed you and cleansed you, you're not a virgin again, I know, but you're getting purified in your mind, and Yah is cleansing you through the word, and you're learning that He wants you to enter into a marriage with a covenant of union with a man that has potential to get another woman. Like maybe you're the first right now, but the door's open because it's called biblical marriage. It's up to it's his prerogative. And you know that you need to submit no matter what. And you think that submission is a giant. You just think you can't do it. It's like, I'm not built for that. I'm only built for the past. And you want to head back. I'm just saying, hold on. Before you hold on, hit me with a like and leave a comment. Thanks for hanging out with Call for Wisdom. Let's continue this Bible study. All right, 14 verses 5. Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces in the presence of all the assembly of the congregation of the sons of Israel. Joseph and the sons of Nun, and Caleb the son of Jephthah. I can never say these words really well. Forgive me. Of those who had spied on the land, tore their clothes. So Joseph and Caleb, when they heard that Israel wants to go back, that people wanted to go back, and they wanted to like get rid of Moses and Aaron, they're like, "Oh my goodness, oh my goodness!" They were so mourning, like, "Don't do this." They were tearing their clothes in front of the people, saying, "Don't do this, don't do this," and they were mourning and praying, saying, "Don't do this." And verse 7, and they spoke to all the congregation of the sons of Israel, saying, "The land which we passed through to spy out is an exceedingly good land." And I'm telling you, my sisters, the land that is being spoken about, though it has challenges and giants, is an exceedingly good land. This is where you should be, my sisters. I am confident to tell you that marriage, biblical marriage, is where you should be. You need to be covered. Very few of them qualify. Very few of you are 65 and over who qualify to be on the widows list. The rest of you younger chickies here, the rest of you freebies and independent single women who are on a extended season of singlehood, you need to find yourself into biblical marriage and do not listen to the spies that are telling you the lies. It is exceedingly good land. Verse 8, if the Lord is pleased with us, then he will bring us into his land and give it to us, the land which flows with milk and honey. Only do not rebel against the Lord, and do not fear the people of the land, for they will be our prey. Huh. Their protection has been removed from them, and the Lord is with us. Do not fear. The Lord is with us. That's the key. The Lord is with you, my sisters. The word is with you, my sisters. He wants this for you. And if he's for you, nobody can be against you. If you're walking in faith and knowing the word and knowing biblical doctrines about marriage, and you know that Yah does not make women to be independent of a man, you're going to find yourself under the house of a father, of a brother, an elder, in marriage, either way, but not on the street. Even Naomi knew that. when and I'm not gonna go sidetrack, but, Ruth and Boaz story and Naomi, the mother-in-law, she was a widow. She didn't stay out on the street saying, "I'm a widow, thank goodness I'm gonna live independent." No, she said, "Ruth, come along, my girl. I am looking for shelter. You wanna come get shelter? I'm going back home. I'm gonna find a shelter underneath my relative's house. I'm gonna submit to Boaz too." And she showed her the ropes of how to make it happen because she, even if she was older, knew she needed cover. And I am in my 50s. I know I'm older too. I need cover as well. So I'm telling you, none of us were supposed to be out there in the wilderness wandering around, wandering around. 40 years, you're still single. 40 years, you are still in the wilderness of singlehood because you're living the fear. And this is what the story continues, right? I'm going to cut it short. Go ahead and read chapter 14 and 15. You'll find out. But because of their disbelief, because of their fear of the giants, because of their disbelief that Yah had this plan for them, He would go for them, go ahead of them, the people of Israel, our descendants, decided that they were not going to follow Yah, and God punished them, and He made every one of them who doubted Him wander in circles around the wilderness for 40 years, till every one of them who was in doubt died. And this is what will happen to you. You're going to spend your years, boom, 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 20s, 30s, 40s, no problem. 50s, no problem. Still single because you refused to go into the promised land because you doubted it and you're afraid of the giants. And I'm going to tell you a secret about those giants because those giants, my sister, stem within us. The majority of the giants are not even giants that are outside. You got to deal with them before you even cross over. You can't even take them with you because they are internal giants. The jealousy giant, that is you. That is you coveting a man's position and his role and his options. You don't like it. You wish you could have four husbands. You don't want him to have four wives. You're jealous because you think that you deserve the man all for yourself. That giant is an internal me issue. Deal with it and get yourself into the land. That giant of feminism, the indoctrination. Oh, you've been trained since a little girl. That whole idea that it's, get the bag and all the money is mine and the man is just there to pay my bills and to take me to Dubai, holidays and all. Just give me the cash and I will not submit to him because you are the boss over him. And having a polygynous man tell you, hey, my girl, I am the leader. Follow the leader, 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 follow the leader. hmm You don't want to follow the leader. That giant of stubbornness and feminism in you needs to die. That giant is an internal giant that needs to be put to death, right? Before you even cross over. There will be more when you get on the other side, but deal with your own. Don't take it along with you. Those are internal giants of jealousy, of coveting, of hatred of patriarchy. Those are your own internal giants, the giants of selfishness, that it's all about me, my own life. I don't care about the man's mission. I have my own mission. I have my own plans. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be an accountant. I want to have the bag. I want all this. Me, and my mission. I don't want to follow man's mission. That giant will kill you on the other side. It will crush you because on the promised land, none of these giants can survive. They're going to be coming down. They have to come down for you to live peacefully in the promised land. You cannot live in the promised land with those giants. Deal with them before you cross over because when you cross over, there'll still be some more to tackle. But the key is that Yah tells them, do not fear because I will be with you. Let me see if you can pick up that one little verse there because that one is a powerful one. Yah promises us that He's able and faithful to take care of us. That's in Numbers chapter 13, verse 30. That Yah promises them that those who brought the evil report will die by the plagues. Those who came with this evil report of marriages and stuff, they're going to die themselves, single, childless, divorced, three baby mamas, stuff. They're going to die. Those who brought you evil reports about marriage, they themselves are single. They themselves are miserable. Those two little sisters who are living a polygynous life and are happy are telling you it's not like this. They're telling you you're believing lies. They're warning you, don't spend 40 years wandering around. Follow Yah, follow Him, follow His lead. He promised, Deuteronomy 31, verse 1, Yahweh, your Elohim. He told the people, don't worry. Don't fear, because Yahweh your Elohim goes before you. He will destroy the nations from before you. Like he will take care of the giants. He will take care of the challenges. Deuteronomy 31 verse 3 says, just follow him. Like just follow the Torah. Just follow the word. Walk in faith. Give him your internal giants, and all the external ones will crush under him. All the fears, you have to give it to him and get rid of them. Yahweh, your Elohim, promises he will go before you. Who will you believe? Yahweh himself goes before you and he will be with you. Deuteronomy chapter 31:8. He said he will never leave you nor forsake you. Not. If Yah is going before me into this biblical marriage, into marriage, like I left my father's house, I'm going to my husband's house, but guess who's coming along with me? Who's going along for me? Who's panting forward me? Who's making the way? Who has never forgotten me? He will never leave you is your Abba Father, Yahweh. He will never leave you. He will always be there for you. And even if you face giants when you get on the other side, he will destroy them. Deal with the ones internally with him. Surrender to his word, to his commandments. Follow Yah. Follow his design for marriage. Follow biblical headship. Follow his commandments, his promises, follow the examples of scripture. Listen to the reports of godly women who've gone through it, elders who've lived through it. Don't listen to reports of the masses. Listen to the stillness of your heart. You know that it is a good thing, that Yah has promised you a land full of milk and honey. And some of you are looking in from a distance. You've been given the opportunity to walk in. You have been. There are men scouting for godly Yah-fearing women. And whether or not they choose to take you alone, maybe they'll choose later on, years later, to take another. You have to be open for the concept of biblical marriage, either way. And you know what it pertains, but do not be afraid, my sisters. Don't let the giants fear. The real giants are inside you, giants of jealousy, giants of pride, giants of entitlement and princess treatment, you know. You don't want to share, giants of financial fear, you might lose out, you think you might have less, you think those are all lies. Giants of feminism, giants of religious indoctrination. Oh my gosh, what would my pastor say? Well, first of all, you should probably leave Christianity and go back to just following the Torah. If you're arranged, if your pastor is preaching all that stuff to you, follow the word, okay? Giants of indoctrination, giants of state worship, because you need to have a marriage certificate, you think, but in biblical marriage, you do not get that. You don't have to get that. It's an option. You do not have to get that. Giants of insecurity, that you're not going to be enough, or you're going to compare your body to the other women and your life to the other women who are already wise. Comparisons, that giant will eat you up if you let it. You got to deal with those giants, crush them. But how do we do it again? We follow Yah, because he says he's going to go before you. He's going to go before you. Deuteronomy 31 verse 3. Yahweh your Elohim goes before you. He will destroy the nations from before you. Be encouraged, my sisters. If you got blessed by this message, give a thumbs up. If there's some giants that I didn't mention or you just are talking about right now, mention them in the chat for me. Let's continue this conversation. Share it with a sister who needs some help and encouragement. And we're going to continue this topic about the giants that we face when it comes to marriage. Next one, I think I'm going to talk about David and Goliath. Let's talk about that. Alrighty. Also check out my community posts. Leave an email if you want to. If you need some consultation, follow me at my call for wisdom at yahoo.com. Just email me. I am making myself available sometimes if I have time to communicate with you sisters. And I hope that you guys have a blessed Shabbat coming up. Blessings and take care.